Hello, hello. Oh,
Hello.
I'm hearing myself an echo. Is that me?
I think so. I don't have anything else on.
Hold on, hold on. Did I do that? No, I don't think so. Okay, it could just be like when I popped in. So I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm late. I was in the wrong tab of StreamYard. I was in an old live stream and I was like trying to make everything work. But then I was like, why can't I go live? And then I realized session expired. I was like, oops. Wrong live. So who's here? Obviously,
I'll
Remy's
be
first.
right back. My
Hel-
phone.
No worries. Hello, Remy. So I have Tracy here from T-Han 141 Homestead, and he's on the phone. So I guess I'm just gonna wait 1 or 2 minutes for people to pop in. It is the end of the month of July. I wanted to talk about getting ready for the chaos. So, 1 more minute. If you're watching this on replay, I'm so sorry. I give about a couple minutes to people to pop in. It is summer days, and 6 o'clock I know is not the best time for everyone.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going to 7 on Thursdays.
Okay? Isn't
Every,
that the same time as Darren?
Darren goes on at 8.
Oh, okay.
But that would limit me,
Yeah,
so
to
I
an
don't know.
hour. Yeah.
Hi, Marilyn. Happy
But I
birthday.
think if my memory is correct, I don't think Darren goes live during the summer. Hi
Right.
Matt. Hi Marilyn. So until like the craziness, I think he starts going back live like October, September. Hi Dave. So take advantage of it, and
Yeah.
if ever he goes live, well, we adjust, we adapt.
Yeah.
I have no choice. It's the only time frame, so I am dealing with like I'm going with the punches like this.
Yeah.
It's been a heck of a ride. July has been crazy, and I just realized this probably sounds ridiculous. I just realized we're July 30th.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god, there's one more day in the month of July."
Yeah. And I was driving, and my inspection ends July 31st. So on my car. So I got to make an appointment somewhere. Hopefully somebody can get me in
You mean your inspection for your oil?
for my car. We have every year you have to have your car inspected.
Oh, we don't have that here. Ontario has that, I think, but I don't think we do. I, we
It's
have our like our routine checkups, but it's our responsibility. We don't have like yearly demanding to
yeah.
inspect.
Yeah, every year they do emissions and make sure that it's all good to go. Basically, it's a way for the county to suck 21 bucks out of you.
Well, there is good in it
Mhm.
because one for $20 you get your entire car inspected. If there's a problem with it, you kind of find out, which is good.
Yeah,
Because here, if I bring my car in the garage, I rarely go under $100. Very rare. Unless it's like I'm going in for an oil change. And even then, they always find something that needs to get done. Hello, Marilyn. Happy birthday, Marilyn. I think it was like 2 days ago, one day ago.
yep. 24. Can you believe it? She's growing up on us.
I think she's like right behind me. Hello,
Oh yeah,
Matt.
you're 25, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I had
Okay.
my kids at 12.
True story. My daughter was born when I was 13 years old. She was born in 1984 I was born in 1971. She's my stepdaughter, but
Still, you raised
yeah.
her?
Um, she lived with her real father, but we got her on weekends and holidays and stuff like that. We tried to be as active as we could in her life. I just had no authority as a evil stepdad.
Ooh.
But no, me and Wendy's ex husband were really good friends. So it was
No, we have no inspection on our cars at all.
wow.
Uh, I know that Fred lived in Ontario when I met him, and he had to bring his old car in Ontario, and he was not passing inspection. And it was a yearly thing. It's like environmental. If you're like following the regulation of like your car being a total disaster on the road and you're polluting and blah 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 blah, but
Well, it
they,
used to be easy because you'd take your car in, and if you had the right guy, the right garage, they would say, "Listen, what's wrong with your car?" And you'd say, "Nothing." And they would slap the sticker, punch the sticker date out, slap the sticker on, and you're good to go for another year. Give them the $10. Now it's $21, and they have a computer that they literally have to hook up to your car. If your check engine light is on, you will fail inspection. Then they have to fix whatever's wrong. You're allowed to drive it, I think it's for 100 miles, 200 miles to clear all the codes if they fix the problem, and then take it back and get it re-inspected. It's a nightmare.
can you imagine those old cars that doesn't have electrical things?
Right? I would love one.
No, they were expensive in gas right now. It used to be every year here, and now it's every second year. Okay. So I guess Quebec is weird that way. We pay for registration every year, so the number that's in the back of the car, we get one when we get our car, and year after year after year, we pay. Depending where you are in Quebec, the closer you are to big cities, the more expensive those things are. The further away you are from Montreal or big cities, cheaper it is. I remember when I was on the island, Montreal, it was close to $300 a year to have that plate on the back of your car. I don't know how much it is right now. And we have to pay annually $100 to have our driver's license renewed.
Wow.
Something like
We
that.
our registration is I want to say it's going to be around $100, but it's for 3 or 4 years. It lasts as long as you keep up with if your inspection expires and you get caught driving without inspection, it's a ticket, and they can take away your registration. You get caught driving without registration, ooh doggy, they hit you hard. But
Well, the fun part is that since we pay so much, if we get caught without our driver's license or insurance or our registration, they just punch in our license plate, which is that thing we pay $200 per year, and they give us probably like a 48 hours. We need to bring it to the proof to the nearest SQ station. But the thing is, with the computers now, they punch in your insurance number and they can tell if it's paid. They can tell if it's valid or invalid. They can say with your plate number if you've paid your plate and if you're up to date, or if you are illegal or doing something bad. So if you get caught and you don't have your papers on you, they still can find who you are with your plate. They
oh
and
yeah,
you just need your driver's license to confirm that you're that person. But you can still get a ticket.
yeah, I got pulled over, and I told the officer, I said, I don't, I can't find my insurance card. I am so sorry, sir. I've looked and I can't, it was in here. I don't know where it's at. He says, you have insurance. It's active. He says, call your company when you get home and ask them to mail you another
Yeah.
one. I'm like, oh, okay. He already knows.
Yeah, well, with it's all interconnected now, which is
Yeah.
easier on us because you never know. As a woman, well, I don't have that problem, but like women literally has like 4 or 5 bags, and they have to change their wallet and registration and all that, and sometimes they leave it like in the old bag or in the old coat, or so it's better for everyone, but you still get like a warning. Be careful, have it on you. It's safer.
Now, okay, here's a question. I asked my daughter this a few months ago, and I got a weird response. But have you ever done the whole bat in your eyelashes to get out of
No,
a ticket? No.
no, because I was never put in that situation.
Oh, because she says, yeah, I've never gotten a ticket. She says my heart starts beating when I get pulled over, so
um
I'll unzip my jacket a little bit, and I'm like,
I have, in my entire life of driving, so I've been driving since I was 16, had parking tickets, stupid parking tickets. And I had one speeding ticket, but like when the officer pulled me over and he's like, "Do you know why you stopped me?" I'm like, "Yes." So, like, I was stupid. So I literally said, "Yes, I know. I was going too fast. I was distracted." And I got the fines, but not the points. So he
yeah.
was nice to me. And I think I have a stop sign. That's about it.
Yeah, I just found out. I've been driving since I was 17 years old, 16 years old. I've had my license since I was 17, but I just found out that you have to stop for 4 seconds, a complete stop for 4 seconds, or they can give you a ticket for running the stop sign.
Do you
And
have
I'm
to
like,
go?
wait a minute.
Do you have to go one Mississippi?
I don't know. I've always said, wait a minute. The sign says stop. If my car stops and then you can feel it settle back a little bit, that's a complete stop.
You
You
have to
don't
be
get
completely
any.
immobilized.
Yeah. You want me to put it in park, get out and run around 3 times? What's the deal?
That would be interesting, especially in traffic. You
We
probably
used to
get
do we
lots
used
of
to
bad
do the
words.
yeah, we used to do the Chinese fire drills at stop signs.
Chinese fire. I don't know
Yeah,
that.
where you got four kids. It's usually four people who are teenagers that just got their license. You pull up to a traffic light or a stop sign. Everybody gets out of the vehicle, runs around the vehicle, and changes seats. Like if you're in the passenger seat, you go to the driver's seat. If you're in the driver's seat, you go to the back seat behind the driver. If you're in the back seat behind the driver, you go to the back. Everybody rotates.
Assuming everyone knows what they're supposed to do.
Oh yeah, it's all worked out ahead of time.
That's cool. Ontario has dropped it in free license plate. Awesome.
Nice.
$80 for license plate here, but registration is about, okay. So I guess we are more expensive.
I was
Uh,
I was watching a podcast the other day, and they were talking about Canada, and I really feel for you guys. Because of your government. You don't have if it weren't for the Constitution, we would be way far beyond what you guys are. But we were talking pew pews, but it was pretty wild.
you do realize I have two government, right?
Yeah, the provincial and then the
Yeah, so
provincial.
I have the Canadian government and I have the Quebec government. So we pay two taxes. We filed two tax reports.
Mhm.
I have child benefits from one government, child benefits from the other. Some is good because we have access to more because we have more children. But having two governments and two taxes and being imposed like front and back, it's another story.
Yeah.
But I prefer having a Quebec government because if I was only ruled by Canadian government, I don't know where I would be, because like we have free healthcare. Like I know we still pay for some stuff,
Yeah.
but like if I have a doctor. If I cannot see a doctor, all I have to do is call in, and I would get an appointment within 24 hours, and that is free. I do not have to wait 16 hours in the waiting room, but I did have to wait 5 years to have access to a doctor. Like, I was put on a waiting list because my doctor retired.
Wow.
But like, just having that free, I know it's not free, but like, I don't have to pay tens of thousands of dollars in my life to have access to healthcare. It's a good thing.
Yes.
um, I did not know either that there was a price difference until I moved off of the island of Montreal, and I got my renewed license, and I was like, oh my god, there's almost like $50-$60 of difference. My insurance went down drastically also because I came off the island of Montreal. My house insurance also went down when I moved just off the island. Now it's another story. I have a central home, so I pay more. Driver's license every four. We change our driver's license every 5 years. Our pictures once we reach 25, I think. And then I think it's every 3 years under 25. There's different things, but they just changed everything during the COVID. So
Yeah.
if I got caught driving, they would take their vehicle, and I would have to get someone. Isn't that embarrassing? Oops.
Wow.
And the thing is, when you have a ticket here, you have to buy back your points because we have, I think, 12 or 14 points. So let's just say you stop at the stop sign, you get caught, that's 3 points that you get removed. So you have to pay your fine, which is so much, and then you lose 3 points. But then when you renew your driver's license, you have to buy those points back.
See, we can't buy our points back. If we get points, they are there for, I think it's 18 months, depending on the infraction. And then they come off automatically, but they add up. And if I think it's if you get 6 points within those 18 months, then they pull your license. My big problem is say you go to court, you say, okay, I did not do this. You go to court, you're found innocent. In New York, you still have to pay like $30 to $50 court cost for not doing anything.
To
I
prove
think
that
it's
you're innocent.
well, no, you went in, you're innocent, you didn't do anything, which by the judge saying you're innocent means that you're there because the state made a mistake, but you
Yeah.
still have to pay the court costs. I'm
Oh,
like,
there's
no, no,
there's
no, let the
always
state
there's
pay it.
always a beep moment
Yeah.
with laws. Um, yeah, don't get caught, but don't do anything stupid because
You know who you're talking to? You're telling Remy not. I love you,
well,
Remy.
I when I found my mom when she had her accident and she had a cranial trauma, it kind of changed the way that I see the road.
Mhm.
I found my mom. I'm the one that was the first on the scene. So I found my mom in the pool of blood and everything. So finding that when I see people doing stupid stuff, like really stupid stuff, I'm I'm like, come on, like your life
Yeah.
is hanging by a thread. Like seeing my mom in the hospital for like 3-4 months, relearning how to walk, relearning how to talk, relearning how to move her arms, her legs, removing how to like not remembering certain people, not remembering certain phrases, or like she didn't know it was a tomato, she would call it an apple.
Yeah.
And like when I see like teens and young adults doing stupid things, I'm like, it only takes one fraction of a second and your life will either be gone or changed forever.
That's something I tell all the kids when I find out they got their license is man, that is a 2+ ton killing machine.
Yeah. And
Uh,
you're the one holding the reins.
yep.
I almost got a ticket going to the Uh-oh. The police was on the other lane, flashed the lights, but did not do a U-turn. Phew. So he was telling you, I saw you. Never understood the Quebec and Canada taxes in other province. We only have one report. Um, I don't know. I've never lived outside of Quebec. The larger the organization, the more levels of government is needed.
Yeah. I think I would be unfortunately I was born in Florida, but I probably would have been a Confederate. The Civil War in America was not fought over slavery. Slavery was the straw that broke the camel's back. But the Civil War was actually fought over states' rights or fed, who had more control, the federal government or the state government. And the Confederacy broke free, saying, no, we are, each state is in control. And but slavery is the straw that broke the camel's back, but it was more over state versus
Too
federal.
many people died for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that sucks. Well, mine keeps going up, not for the same reason, because I received the phone call from my insurance company. She's like, well, your car insurance is going up and your house insurance is going up. I'm like, well, no, my car's older. Like, my car should not go higher in value. I have a 2015, 100 and something. I think I'm close to 200,000 kilometers on my car. It's paid. Well, you see, older car now are like more, they're valued more. So everything is electrical in your in cars. So then when you want to replace it, it's more expensive. I'm like, I have a basic model.
Yeah.
The only thing that it is electrical on my car is the windows going up and down, which is, standard, and my mirrors. That's it. I don't have fancy stuff. So, it was crap. I got so mad at them, but she's like, if let's just say that you start checking around, since I have my house insurance and car insurance with them, I have like a bonus because I have 2 services with them. She's like, you're going to end up paying more. So I'm like,
don't take in. I don't know how it is in Canada, but with insurance, that's one thing that you should. Whether I'm very happy with my insurance company, I use State Farm, but I'm very happy with them. When I hit a deer, the very next day, the lady was out taking pictures of the car, handing me a check.
Because I have a century-old home, there's only 2 companies that assures century-old homes.
Really?
My house is 107 years old, and they don't insure houses without an inspection. So when I bought this house, I had to make an offer, and there was clause. So the first one was acceptance of inspection, acceptance of insurance. And I went back and forth with my insurance. They were like asking me so many damn questions. Sorry, it's weird. And they're like, okay, never mind. We're just going to come visit. We wanted to visit anyways, but it's in December and someone's going to come over. And like she came, we had snow. There's certain places in the backyard. She had snow up till like above the knees. She had to go crawl under. She went under everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, like poor woman. Like you're making this woman in December knee-high into cold snow. She had to go ever under, and she went in the attic, she went downstairs, and she took pictures, and she's like, we're going to insure you, but you need to do these 20 things. If you don't do these 20 things and then that a certain amount of time, we refuse insurance. Yeah. So I was like, okay, it was doable, but there's certain things that we didn't plan on doing it like right away. Right. And then she's like, I just want to let you know, I've worked for a couple of insurance companies. I'm an inspector. So the one that you've chosen, if you're not satisfied with them, there's not many that will decide to insure you because your house is 100 years old.
Yeah, but if they inspect it and everything's good to go, because in my opinion, the older the house, most of the time, not all the time, but the older the house, the better built it
Quality.
was.
Yeah. See, they want to know if the old electrical system is there because that is a fire hazard.
Yeah,
And then they want to know if there's any copper inside the house,
like copper wiring.
piping.
Oh, can you not have copper
I
piping?
don't think so. Like there was something about copper that we weren't supposed to have. That is in century-old homes, and since we're not like on the house was built, it was brought up, and there was a concrete foundation done, and it was done poorly. And then there was an add-on that was on a better concrete slab, which is good. And then there was a third add-on that was like really badly done.
Mm,
So they're like requesting us to like fix stuff around, but like there's things that I would have to do, like rent equipment and all
yeah.
that. So there are certain things that were not covered because of it. So it's irritating. I had to insure my house at the time $40,000 higher because if my house burned to the ground, because I live in China, I was told I live in China. If ever I burned to the ground, they to rebuild it, it would cost what I paid for the house plus
Mm,
$40,000.
yeah.
So I'm like, this is how you get me. Like, you know that I have a century-old home. You know that there's not many that will accept me, and you me
Mhm.
by boosting 40. And then when I renewed my insurance with them this year, my house value went up $90,000. So my insurance went up like skyrocket. I'm like, oh my god, gotta love, gotta love, gotta love. So yes, I am planning on asking around. There's a couple of
Mm,
century-old home in the village, so I'm gonna ask them because I'm not gonna trust someone, just one person telling me
right.
that. So I'm gonna, ask around to see because I might be missing out on something. As long as I don't live in a HOA, I think I'll be in Canada. I don't think I ever would like to live in a HOA. From what I'm hearing, it's like worse than the mafia.
Yeah. You wake up in the morning, go out to get the paper, and there's this lady measuring your grass because she's in a bad mood. No, no, no. You need that. You can't have your mailbox that color. Lady, I'm about to shoot you in the face.
There's
I would
something
never do
I
that.
don't understand. Okay, so we pay a fortune on taxes. I think it's like that all over America. Uh, like to own land. So regardless if you have 1,000 square feet, 2,000 square feet, 10,000 square feet, 2 acres, 3 acres, whatever, we pay taxes. It's our land. It's
Mhm.
ours. So I understand that there's certain requirements for me to be in a city. Like I understand I live here, they require this from me, which is fine. I require from them recycling, garbage, composting, running water, electricity, blah, 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 blah. I require all of that. So it's like a win win situation. But like beyond that, if I want to paint my mailbox pink, let me be. It's
Yeah. And the idea of an HOA is a good thing where because usually it starts off as a group of people who live in the immediate area get together and say, okay, we want to keep our price values up for our homes. We want to keep our values up. I keep my yard nice and tidy. I don't want somebody to move a junkyard next door. I can kind of understand that, but I would never move into a place that had the HOA. It
yeah,
just
you can't breathe. Like,
no.
anyways,
If I want to leave my lawnmower on the lawn, that's where it'll stay.
Well, you can always change both with someone else. It's like phone. Yeah, I think so too. Well, the thing is, because at the time when I took this insurance company, it's because my aunt was married to this man.
Mm.
So, you encourage family. And he was a broker. So what I love about broker is that they don't just have one. So it's same thing. I took a broker for my mortgage, and I feel I had a way better service than if I went to one person. But, now they're not together anymore, so I kind of have the privilege of like, so sorry. Can give An HOA can give you fine and do things on your property without your consent.
Yeah, the fines. Yeah, they can charge you money because you haven't your grass is too tall or there's something. Yeah, and that is true. What Remy said, we don't really own the land, because if you think you own the land, then stop paying taxes and see how quick it's snatched up from under you.
Well, we are under the impression we bought land.
Oh
Honestly,
yeah, the illusion of freedom. We have the illusion of freedom,
yeah.
but stop paying taxes. Stop, do something that, a minor infraction or something, speeding or whatever. See what happens. We are so far from free, which I understand traffic laws are important.
Well, I
Um,
think that a certain structure helps a lot,
mhm.
so that chaos is like, there's nothing worse than chaos in population.
Yeah.
So if you have structure, I don't think it's the proper word, but if you have if there's a structure and it's livable, it's easier. Like, it's easier
Yeah.
to maintain. It's easier, but there's limitations. But still, like, we are under the illusion that we bought land.
Oh yeah. We are literally, I don't want to dive down the rabbit hole on your live, but
Doom.
dude, we are literally on a human farm. We are being farmed. We are being raised like cattle to produce money and power for the elite.
True. If you,
If you really think about it.
yeah. But
And
we do choose to be rebels a little and grow
oh yeah.
our own food.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I am considered a rebel because I don't pay taxes. No, it's true. I don't pay taxes because I don't declare any revenue.
Well, you don't get any revenue.
On paper, I am not working, so I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Right.
But because of that, my husband can declare me dependent.
Right.
So he has a tax deduction. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's what it's called. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're like the rebel family.
Well, yeah. And so far they don't tax us on food we grow ourselves. Um,
That would be the end of it.
yeah. They are the America's FDA, was it the FDA or the CDC? One of them came out. There is literally an article that said gardening is dangerous to your health.
I saw that. I didn't read it,
You
but I saw the title.
and what it was the ground is so polluted after years of occupation by humans. The ground is so polluted that being in contact with it is horrible and will kill you.
I have an
Well,
answer to that. Plants sunflowers like there's no tomorrow, and they will depollute your
yes, they
soil.
will.
All you have to do is burn those sunflowers at the end of the season, take the ashes, and I can't remember if you put them in, there's a process. They decontaminate fields, radioactive fields, with sunflowers.
Yeah, yeah, where they plant. Yeah,
But
but
like there's a certain process to it.
the the sunflowers. I was weeding the other day. Now, granted, okay, I'm pulling vines out because I don't weed a lot. But the sunflowers are fragile. I killed two of the sunflowers from the pack that you gave me because I grabbed a vine and I pulled it.
How big was
And
it? Because mine the trunks are about this big.
oh, mine aren't that big. No, mine my gigantic ones are maybe the size of my finger here, and the other
Wait a
ones are
minute.
real
Did you
big.
sow them or did you transplant them?
Sowed them.
When
I
did you
just
sow them?
I don't know. I got a book here
I
somewhere.
have, I think I sent that to Remy. There is a sunflower that's almost 10 feet tall at my house, and the trunk is so big, it doesn't move.
Got my
I normally sow my seeds outside around early May, mid May.
I didn't write it down. Can you believe that? Huh. Yeah, I probably planted them a little late. They're probably somewhat behind.
But you could have just transplanted it back if the head was not torn off.
Oh, yeah, because the head wasn't torn off, but they were crimped over, and that's
I would have tried it.
yeah,
Transplant it. Like the worst case, it's gonna die.
yeah.
Best case, you can maybe save it. It happens to I decapitate tomato plants and pepper plants and so many things. And I'm like, oops, and I just try to save it. And if I can't save it, well then.
I was sitting there, and there's this. I'm weeding, and I'm pulling out these vines, and all of a sudden, this flower hits me in the face. I'm like, oh, that looks like Queen Anne's lace, and I'm like, I wonder what that actually is. So I took a picture of it with my phone. I've got that plant ID. It's wild carrots. I got
I
a
saw
wild.
that.
It's huge, and I pulled it and cleaned it up, and it's in the freezer. Well, there are a bunch of them now in the freezer. I'm gonna can them just like I can carrots.
I cannot believe I'm reading this. In some HOA, you can't plant sunflowers. They don't like them.
Oh yeah, you got to be very careful because when you give a bunch of you give I however many people are on the HOA board, then and Sally don't like daisies, or she's allergic to um daisy style flowers or whatever. Next thing you know, you accidentally miss a meeting and they all voted on it, and you got to get rid of all your daisy. That's crazy.
I would not be able to live in that. I would not be able to.
No.
Because there's something that people have to understand is our ecosystem is so fragile at the time, and if we don't feed every single pollinator or little buzzing friend, I'm not talking about the foes because the foes will always find a place regardless of what we do. So like the little bees, the little honeybees, all those types of bees, they need food, and they will not just be satisfied with one type of plant because Susan is allergic to this and the Albert is allergic to that. Like obviously, if you have an acre or 3 acres of an HOA and there's like quadrillions of houses, there's going to be no buzzing friends.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Rebecca, I didn't invite you to the barbecue because I know you're allergic to everything green, and I have a garden.
There's a neighbor that just moved on my street, and he approached me. He's like, "Oh my god, I wanted to tell you we're moving. We're going. I think it's like near Rimouski or somewhere like that, like between Rimouski and Rivière du Loup. Something. Anyways, it's in the boons." And he's like, "I have to say I admire what you do, but like you must be at war with the city." I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not at war with the city. He's like, "Didn't the city give you a hard time because of all the food that you grow?" from what I know, no, they haven't. They haven't said anything. And then I sat down that night and I'm like, what if the city comes and tells me that I disturb, or I'm like the black sheep, or like I'm using up all the land that I can to grow berries and fruits and vegetables and all of that.
Tell them thank you.
Yeah,
The compliment.
I'm a proud owner of, like, a proud person of being the black sheep. No, seriously, it got me thinking, and I was
Yeah.
like, I have to be prepared for that because they want to transform my village into a city, and if we go to that stage, we might have a hard time continuing what we're doing.
Well, you can go to the town if I mean, keep an ear to the ground. If you hear that they're going to be doing anything like that, you can go to the town and say, listen, I've been doing this for, you've been
Six,
gardening 6
six.
years. I've been doing this for 6 years. This is the way I live.
Mm.
And sometimes you can get an exemption.
Yeah, yeah. There's certain exemption you can have, but seriously, I wouldn't want to be part of a town
No,
that doesn't let me grow food.
no.
Uh, I even grow the ones.
It's legal here.
They will give you fine, Remy. They have the power. Just never go there. Marilyn is her own HOA beach patrol. I see red when I see a four-wheeler or a. Ew. Ah. Well, enough doom and gloom. I was saying at the earlier on my live.
Sorry.
No worries, no worries. Like, we need to evacuate those frustrations and then go on with our life. So that's what we did. So I just realized this morning that we are July 30th. And I got a question from, what's her name again? Warrior Q. What's your name?
Garden Warrior Q.
Yeah. So a couple of days ago, she messaged me on one of my older videos. She's like, hey, are you doing the challenge? Every bit counts. So I'm like, in my mind, we're July 15th, July 16th, it's far. And tonight I realize it's in 2 days. It's literally in 2 days, August 1st. So my mind has been going like spinning. She's like, okay, cool, you're going to participate. So I told her I was going to do it. I just didn't know how I was going to process it because I've been canning, pressure canning, water bath canning, freezing, nonstop, almost 4 or 5 times a week, even in the weekend. Like today, I've canned some peaches, frozen some peaches, started a relish that I might finish canning tonight or tomorrow morning, and I canned green beans. Yesterday, I was at Annie from Mama Homemade, so I couldn't do anything. But we harvested 17 pounds of squash. And she's like, oh, here, it's yours. So I was like, cool. Put that in my mind. I was like, what am I going to do with 17 pounds of squash?
I'll be up for 3 days canning.
So I started a relish tonight. So that I was like, okay, it's going to do half of my zucchinis. It's going to be awesome. Only took 4. So it took 4 of so I took the 4 of the biggest. So that was like maybe 4 pounds, 5 tops. And a neighbor of mine's like, I would like a zucchini because I want to do zucchini bread. So I gave her one of mine that I didn't weigh yet. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to do relish. I'm going to do pickled because they're delicious pickled. I'm going to do in pineapple juice.
Yes.
And I'm also going to do salsa, zucchini, tomato salsa. But I don't have tomatoes yet, so I don't know how I'm going to do.
Farmers markets are starting to open.
Yeah, I know, but I was like, oh my god, I need to process all of that. At least I'll have some content. but it got me like sitting. Okay, so I sat down a minute and I was like, okay, so it's peach season, so I need to go get 30 liters of peaches. I need 2 bags of corn. So that's for like the upcoming weeks. That's what's coming. I processed 20 birds, freezer, canning, blah, 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 blah. What else did I do? I did potatoes. I had my 100 pound of potatoes, almost all canned. I have
Wow.
like one batch left to do. On Friday, I canned some teriyaki chicken, some chicken in broth, chicken regular, in tea concentrate. That's just Friday. That's just Friday. And I've done 2 to 4 canning session on a daily basis. I haven't like weeded my garden in a month. I haven't spent time in my garden other than picking my beans every 2-3 days.
Oh
So,
man.
so chaos is about to happen in 2 days. It's not going to be a problem to preserve every single day, but I don't think I will preserve every single day. I think I will have some day off or like harvest dried stuff, or I don't know, because
Yeah,
it is a lot of work.
it is. And when it's hot outside, and if you're canning it or boiling it or whatever you're doing, it gets hot. Um I just been putting everything in the freezer except the 2 zucchini I got the other day. I put in the crisper in the fridge. But then today I was mowing the lawn along the wood line and I saw some black. I harvested my first blackberries today.
Nice.
Oh, they were sweet. All I ate 4 of them, and
I think I will have a couple of handfuls this year of blackberries.
the rest of them are all red still.
I
But
think it's like early August for mine.
yeah.
The old owner of this house would do a heart attack if they saw her beautiful cut lawn. I no longer have grass. So if the old owner comes here, she probably like, oh my God, what did you do? It doesn't matter. Darren and I might show up in a Viking ship and raid your garden. That would be funny. It would be, well, no, it would not be funny, but it would be funny to watch.
Just make sure somebody gets it on video.
Yeah. So who will be doing the Every Bit Counts challenge? I know Himi said he was up for the challenge. I know that he said he might only participate like the second week or third week.
I don't know
You
if I'm
should be
gonna
able.
do it.
Uh,
Sure.
I'll get 1 or 2 squash zucchini per day until September. Nice. Zucchini manicotti.
Oh, that sounds so good. I've got to get
Okay,
the recipe.
so I am intrigued. Is there an actual recipe? Because I'm intrigued. Can you send it to
Well,
me?
I think she said it would be the same as spinach manicotti, which you just mix the spinach in with the ricotta, I would assume.
Oh, that
It,
sounds like cochon.
oh, I love manicotti. I am
That's the round,
the round tubes, kind of like a cannoli.
and
Ex-
you just stuff it, right? Okay.
yeah, it's
You
stuffed
stuff
with
it with cheese.
yeah. Then some tomato sauce on top of it.
Mm. Okay. Uh that gentleman that always come here on this live, who's, I don't think he's here tonight, but I always end up talking about food. I think it's CT. No, what's his name?
Creative redundancy, is it?
Yeah, that one. I can't remember what his first name is, but every time he pops in on a live, we're talking about food. He's like, I'm starving. So, if you don't know what every bit counts challenge is, it's very simple. Every single day in the month of August, you need to preserve something. You could be freezing, dehydrating, freeze drying, canning, or fermenting. So it could be 1 cup or it could be 20 pounds. It could be out of your garden or it could be out of like you call it farmers market deals. You go harvest in another person's garden. Regardless of where the food comes from, you preserve something every single day because every little bit counts. And at the end of the month, you look at everything you have preserved and you kind of see why it's important to do a little bit every day. Preserving can be putting something in the fridge until you get to it. Yeah, okay. Or walk out of your fridge because you pushed it all the way back. I'm too lazy to do this challenge. Well, you shred the zucchini, make it lose its water. So I guess you put a bit of salt on it.
You strain it
Mix
out a
it
little bit.
with ricotta, some salt, and some. Okay. So after all of those recipes, if I have some zucchini left, I'll have to remember to try that.
That roast, she roasted zucchini on her grill the other day, and it looked awesome.
I do that. I don't know, not sure if that's what she did. I slice mine like slices of pickles, very thick. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and whatever herb that I feel, you know, flavor. Add a bit of olive oil, mix everything, and grill it. And it's delicious. We do
Mm.
this on a regular basis. Like, it's so good. And there is actually a recipe in the air fryer that we would like to try. Paprika! I have to try with paprika. Smoked paprika is probably even better. Cook the zucchini a bit to make the water. Okay. I could eat roasted zucchini like every single day. I put some in my burgers. I eat them just like that. Um, Cold in a salad. It's really good. But I
Now,
can't grow zucchini here. They don't like my climate.
you mentioned the pineapple
Yeah.
zucchini, where you Wendy canned up a bunch of zucchini, and she called it making homemade pineapple.
Yeah,
But
that's what it is. So there's some people that calls it fake pineapple, but it's zucchini that tastes like pineapple.
I've got a bunch of it, several pints at least, in the pantry. What do you use that for?
Um, you can eat it like that. You can make desserts out of it. And what's the other thing? I haven't done it yet, so I know that I want to do it. So this, just some of the earliest healthy canning says, use it in salads, dessert, and other recipe calling for chunks of pineapple. So I'm guessing breads,
Mm-hmm.
pineapple bread. Um, there's another recipe that I saw.
Pineapple upside down cake and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That would be good.
So I would try it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do. Like, I want to do it because I have all of it, all of that, and I don't want to lose it, and I don't want to freeze it. So I'm trying not to depend too much on the freezer. So I want to can it.
Yeah.
Oh, she had the best idea: Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be awesome.
I'm seeing TikTokers like laughing at us when we put ham and pineapples on pizza, but it's so good.
Oh, Canadian bacon on pizza is awesome. Now,
Yes.
I'm of the I'm kind of the school you do you, but I don't believe that it's pizza once you put pineapple on it. But it's good. Sometimes it hits that every once in a while I get hungry for it, but
I went to Mexico with a friend in November of my early 20s, and there was this bar, pizza bar. They were making homemade pizza. You know that oven that like turns like that? So
mhm.
anyways, it's a small pizza oven. And every single day we would end up skipping dinner because we would go to that bar, and every time the guy's like, "What type of pizza would you like?" So I would say that, so that. And he's like, I'm making you Hawaiian pizza tonight. You know what that Espanol accent and all that. I'm like, why do you put when I tasted that pizza, oh my god, it was so good. Probably because the pineapples were like super fresh because we were like in Mexico, and it was
Yeah,
like so awesome. But it's so good. It was so
it
good. We
is.
ended up like eating a lot. I probably gained like 10 pounds just because of those pizzas. It was so good. Like, we would eat pizza, I think, right after lunch. Like, we would eat like little lunch, and then we had like afternoon lunch, and then late, and then we would eat dinner like super, super late, and then we would drink. Oh, God, we ate so much pizza, but it was so good.
She's like a hobbit.
Yeah, it
One
was a
second breakfast.
yeah, one second breakfast. Pineapple does not belong. Okay, so I was saying that before I tasted the one in Mexico.
Well, I don't
Maybe
call it pizza when it's got pineapple on it. I don't know what it's called, but it's not pizza. But it
okay,
does have a place on a menu. It's
okay,
delicious.
so you know, if I sit here and I'm a vegetarian or a vegan and I say pepperoni doesn't fit on pizza, I think I'll be stoned.
Yeah. Blasphemy.
Or if I say bacon tastes disgusting, I probably would get stoned a couple of times.
Take that back.
You hurt my feelings. I'm so sorry that I'm disappointing you guys, but if ever you go to Mexico and they have those handmade pizza doughs and handmade like everything, that piece of dough with tomato sauce,
Yeah.
cheese, and pineapple and herbs is delicious.
Well, it's a totally different flavor. Um,
But it's so good. Maple bacon is disgusting. Mm,
and you're Canadian? I thought maple went with everything. Maple syrup went with everything.
almost.
Almost, yeah.
Almost. I would not put maple syrup in poutine.
No, no.
No, no, no.
I've never tried it, but it just doesn't seem like it would. Which I'm kind Trevor's. Neither one of us have the money to do it right now, but he's kind of thinking about making another run to Canada to go riding, and so I might show up in Canada unannounced here in the next few weeks.
So you'll have poutine.
Yes, some good poutine. They do okay here. It's just so salty the way they do it. I don't know.
There is a way for you to make gravy like that poutine sauce. There's so many recipes out there. Ricardo has an English version, which is very good. All you need to find is curd cheese.
Oh, we've got that I
So
yeah. The
find curd cheese that's not too salty, and find a gravy sauce. Like, play around with it because like there's like different flavors, different ways to do it.
right.
And then once you found that, you'll be able to make homemade poutine at home with lard. With lard,
Good
it's so
Lord.
good. Have you ever tasted fries in lard?
Oh yes. Yes, my mom used to yeah.
Okay, so if you're doing poutine, you're not supposed to be on a diet. Okay, first of all, if you do poutine, you're not on a diet. So in lard, so good.
I'm always on a diet, but I never seem to lose any weight.
But I think we've reached an age where it's hard to lose the weight.
It is.
I hit the 40, and I'm not pigging out, but I'm still gaining weight.
Yeah. Well,
Like
your
I know
metabolism
that
starts.
no, well, I have a hormonal imbalance, and I'm trying to figure out what it is, but I might have to go like to a naturopath to figure out what it is exactly. But like I can't seem to balance them out, and I have like these ridiculous cravings, regardless of everything I do, and I gain weight.
Craving. Are
Yeah,
are are you by any chance feeling ill in the morning?
no, no, he's unplugged.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Well, it's a 99% chance of like non-success. There's still that 0.1111.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So every month when, the cycle comes, like, yes.
Victory for another 28 days, baby.
Yeah, about that. When I gave birth to Cedric, um, we spoke, we wanted 4 in side story. And we started talking and we're like, okay, we had such a rough patch between 2 and 3. And then we didn't have that much help with 1 and 2. So we're like, okay, so, we're going to count our blessings and we're going to stop there. So it's like, okay, so he was scared. And I'm like, I'm not going. Like, I gave birth naturally 2 times. 1 with drugs assisted. Something came out of me 3 times and I ripped so much. You can suffer for an hour. And
I'm
you
sure.
can put a pack of ice on it. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go. So he went, but his appointment got bumped a week because he went private, well, semi-private, because then there was a long waiting list and we didn't want to wait. And I was late. 1 week before the appointment, I was 2 days late, and Cedric was 2 months old.
Wow.
3 months old, very young. And I had a panic attack. I'm like, if I'm pregnant and Cedric's like 3 months old, they're gonna be 1 year apart. Like month for month, 1 year apart. And I went to the drugstore right away, and I took like not 1, not 2, 3 tests. I was like, I want to make sure that I'm not pregnant.
Right?
That was one of the biggest scares, like being pregnant 3 months after giving birth.
Yeah. Well, you figured out what causes it, right?
Because I was nursing, and after you give birth, your hormones are like all over the place, so you're not regular.
Oh, no, I mean pregnancy.
What do you
You
mean?
figured out what causes pregnancy.
Yeah, I did. I made
Okay.
3 kids.
Because then you can, well, there are kids that teenagers that get married young and stuff, and it takes them a while. Next thing you know, they got 5 kids, and they're like, we got to figure out what's causing this. And we're like, get cable, you'll be fine.
Birds and the bees has like it's been around, as long as you wait, where did the comment go? Okay, so I still love you because you picked on me, but I'm so mad. Can you tell? Okay, so maple syrup is delicious on poutine. Okay.
I'm gonna have to try it. I'll
As
take
long
your
as
word
you
for it.
don't do me breakfast, Jimmy, we're good. Okay. Maybe. Okay, so next conference. I don't know if everyone's going, but I know that I'm at least staying 2 days
Sweet.
because this year, if I'm learning anything, is like everyone's like, how come this is not done? How come you didn't do this? How come I don't have time?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna manage to do it. I don't know what I'll be, how, what, how, whatever, all the questions. But I'm going for 2 days. That's for sure. Like I need to unplug for at least 2 days.
Yeah. It's
Worst case,
important.
I'll put the dogs into like canine places, and like the kids, I'll put them in little hooks, and no, I'll put feeders everywhere.
Find a summer camp. Well, it's kind of early in spring for
It's
summer camp.
May,
Yeah.
so usually, I don't know if Marcy said that it was renewed. I think it's May 8th next year, or May, I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check it out. Check out the Facebook page.
I think Marcy said it was renewed next year, but I can't remember what was the date. So, but it's Mother's Day week, around Mother's Day weekend. I hope it's still going to stay in the 3 hour range. Happy dance every month, and then you go, oh my god, I have all the symptoms for like 5 days. And like your mood is like disgusting for 5 days, where you want to eat like chocolate in the morning and pickles at night. Annie, that's not fair. It hurts more than just an hour. Okay. I was in delivery for 8 hours for my first child. I pushed more than 8 hours. And then my second child, I pushed about 4 to 6 hours. My third child, I think I wasn't even able to count because he came out so fast. But we have 9 months of carrying this life inside of us. They dance on our vessie,
Bladder.
bladder. Thank you. They dance on our bladder. You are hungry. You want to cry. Your hormones all over the place. You hurt your big toe, like your small toe. It feels like you've broken an arm. And then during the end, you have to hold up your belly because it's so freaking heavy, and you can't even see your freaking toes. And not to mention your shoes don't fit for like a month. Oh, you're gone.
I'll be back. I just gotta let's see settings. I accidentally unplugged my camera.
Uh-oh. So Fred was off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and he was back on light work Monday and Tuesday. His was not cut, it was laser. It was less than a week. He was like suffering the first day because it was like pulling. And by the fourth, fifth day, it was like endurable, and he was able to work. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to be the one that's going to say, "Oh my god, I'm like I've carried 3 children." So I'm not going to go poor you.
Well, it's less intrusive on a man, really. I mean, from
It
what I
makes no
understand.
difference. It makes no difference. There's nothing that changes. Like, it doesn't take your manhood. It
Right.
still works. The only thing is you shoot blanks.
And I probably do that already anyway.
But like, I was a baby machine. Like, we would share the same toilet, and I could fall pregnant. So, and I was in my prime, like in your end of like 20s, 30s. I was 34 or 35 when he got unplugged. No, wait. Cedric's born's 2017. So, 2017. Yeah, I was 34. I still had a lot in me. Like, now I'm like, I'm still fertile, but like less.
Right.
But like, the doctor's like, with the chances that you have right now, like, how Cedric is a miracle. I was like not supposed to fall pregnant. Like, I calculated my days and everything, and it was a safe date. And I still fell pregnant. So I was meant to have Cedric, but I was not willing to take the chance of having a fourth.
Yeah. Well, it just for a woman, that whole process is just so much more invasive, you know, and it throws off all of your levels, which all of your hormone levels, which with a
You mean the
guy,
operation for the woman?
yeah,
Well, there's two ways. You can get your tubes tied or tubes cut. If you get your tubes tied, the string will disintegrate
mm-hmm.
and you can get pregnant
Right,
after a couple of years. If you get them cut, your hormones will be different. So
right,
you'll have to, I don't know if your periods will be the same. I wouldn't know. Like for me it was not even an option because like knowing what my mom went through in her premenopause stage, like I want all the chances on my side. Like I don't want
yeah,
those hot flashes like at my mom started like the effects of it like in her early 40s.
yeah.
And it was like
Wendy,
minus 40 degrees outside and she was melting. So I don't.
Wendy would we would be walking through a crowd of people, and Wendy would have a hot flash, and little children next to her would burst into flames. It was horrible.
Poor
Oh
thing.
my goodness.
Okay, so Remy, I'm so sorry you had to suffer for 2 weeks. I'm so sorry. I feel for you a little bit.
I think it's funny. Sorry.
Not on eggs, neither, by the way. Maple syrup is pancake or waffle. Okay, so you need to try something. I've been doing this for a very long time. It's like maybe the cheap version of pancakes when you're like very or like in a rush. So I toast bread, I put butter, and I dip it in maple syrup.
Ooh.
Or that thick brown sauce. What do you call it? You mix it with sugar to make brown sugar.
I don't know. You mix it with sugar to make molasses.
Yes, like my mom would do butter on a toast and she would dip it in molasses, but I preferred maple syrup.
When I was in Florida, my stepmother, every morning she would make fresh buttermilk biscuits and
Mm.
cover them with cane syrup. It's not, it's got a different flavor than maple syrup, but it oh my goodness, it was delicious. The only thing is I'd be wired for the day. Yes, that's my cat.
No, Annie, we have to deal with your hormones for 9 months. Deal with it. Okay, so it's May 4th. So May 4th, may the force be with you. Dum, 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 Star Wars. Okay, I'm going to hell now. I know that I sound rough, but like I know that I think it's rough for all of us. But we are the one carrying the child and delivering the child.
Absolutely. But to be able to give life, that is just so cool. I was watching a video, and they've actually been able to see the moment of conception with cameras. I don't know the process. All I did was watch the video that showed the circle, and then but there's a flash of light when it happens. It's really cool.
It's special. Like the first, I remember my first checkup, and the baby was 14 weeks old, and you see that little speck that's so small, and it changes your perspective because like you know you're gonna be a mother, but you don't know how to be a mother.
Right.
You know that you have to care for a child, but you've never cared for anyone but yourself, or maybe siblings. But like you have 9 months to prepare yourself mentally and physically to bring a child into this world, not knowing if you will bring the child into this world.
And
That
it's
was
also
like my biggest fear. Like every week I needed to hear Like I needed to see movement in my
Mm,
belly. Like a stillborn baby was like one of my biggest
yeah.
fear. Like losing a baby during pregnancy is something, but like giving birth to the baby stillborn,
Yeah.
that was like one of my biggest fears. So like I needed to hear the baby or see the baby move, and I needed to hear that when they were like coming out of me. After that, I have no idea how I've done it, but it just happens.
So do you know how to raise a child now?
No. I'm still trying to figure it out.
That's what I was talking with my mom says the same thing. She says, "Yeah, I still have no clue how to raise kids." She had 6 of them.
So I know, like, we know basics. So we know we need to feed them, we need to dress them, like care for them. But every individual has a character, has needs, different needs, and one day it will work. Like you'll have it spot on, and like, oh yeah, I got it. Everything. The next day, okay, so it worked yesterday. So if it worked yesterday, it should work today. Okay, so okay, we
Yeah.
got it. Start your day. You take your coffee, and then by accident, you step on your daughter's toe.
Oh no. And
Hell
then
breaks loose. Like,
and then there are rules that nobody tells you. Like I was babysitting for my sister when I was a teenager. Apparently, you're not supposed to give them NyQuil when it's time for bed. It's it's called drugging them, I guess, or something like it puts, you're not supposed to give them anything to help them sleep.
well, I would give them Tylenol or
Well, they weren't
Advil
sick.
if they were sick.
No, they
Well,
weren't
teething,
sick. I just wanted them to shut up and go to sleep.
that's questionable, but
Oh,
I'm
these
not
rules,
saying that I didn't think of it.
right?
There's nights where I was like,
Um, Now you can make catnip tea
yes,
because
I
that is mild enough of a sedative that it will not hurt children. And
I
some
don't know
people
what,
say,
I know that certain um homesteaders give teas to their young children. I don't know what age, but I would have, knowing what I know today. So I bought tea at the convention, which is catnip, calendula, chamomile, and something else. There's another ingredient. Anyways, so the lady at the conference was selling those teas, and she's like, "Do you have kids?" I'm like, "Yes, I have kids." She's like, "Give that blend to your kids every night." So I'm like, "Ooh." So now, well, now it's too warm, but once it gets cold, they're gonna have tea every night.
well, you can make iced tea with it too, couldn't you?
Yeah, but they want honey in it,
Oh,
like, because I have tea with honey.
oh,
They like mummy. Well, labor, I cannot describe labor. Like there's people that were like, any like we would like to have your opinion on labor. I'm like, well, I can give you the visual so that you can prepare yourself, but no one experiences pain in the same way. So I'm like, picture a watermelon. It's coming out of you. Regardless of what you say, think, feel that day, that's what's coming out of you.
unless you say C-section.
Unless it ends up, well, it's still coming out of you.
But yeah, true.
Different
And
place.
there's more recovery for
Yeah,
that, I
there's more
believe.
complications from that. So it's like, yeah, but what about pain? Like I can't describe you pain. Like there's pain. It's there. Like I
When
delivered my first baby with drugs, and I delivered the two last one no drugs. And the amount of pain that you go through in a minute is immense. There's no words to describe it. But when that baby's on you, it all goes away. Like there's something that happens between the eyes of the baby, the smell of the baby, and the baby on you that you kind of forget the whole suffering.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know that you're not going to have any baby anytime soon, but we're still doing it. Like I had to throw. So, but still,
Well, I
there's
was
no
in
way.
Wendy and I were in the waiting room when I think it was Taylor, my niece Taylor, Trevor's daughter, was born. And the waiting room was right next to her delivery suite. And the screams. I'm like, I was asking people to give her drugs because she was in pain now.
It's
It
intense.
was
It's
horrible.
I think it's 40 fractures at the same time, but at the same place. So it's like not fractures all over your body, it's at the same place.
Yeah, and it's not like it's the most sensitive area on your body to either, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Well, there's one thing I would love school to teach to women that wants to have children and deliver. Teach them about our bodies.
Mhm.
Our bodies are made, they're designed to carry life.
Yeah.
So it's like we get prepared with our, I know this is like out of subject, but anyways, so our bodies are made to carry life. They bring us into those little courses, they show us about the pregnancy, they show us everything, but they don't show the deep connection. They don't talk about that, the beauty of the woman bringing a child to into this world. And then I went natural with my two last, and she explained to me everything that happens step by step. So, okay, so you're here. This is what your body will do. You need to let your body do it. If you don't let it do it, panic will seize you, and then you will not be able to do it. And then she says, this is what happens to you at zone 2. If you don't let your body relax,
Mhm.
you will not be able to deliver naturally. Like, so like she's explaining to you zone after zone after zone. So when you're dilated at 1, dilated at 2, and then at 10. So when you're 10 and then you're crowning. So she sat down with me and she explained to me every level and what your body does. And if you let your body go through it, flow through it, not like we're doing it. So she explained that to me, and living it was one of the most beautiful moments of my life.
Mhm.
I delivered in hypnosis, Philip. So I had a doula with me, and she was hypnotizing me through the process of pain. So I did feel the pain, but I was under hypnosis. So I know that the pain was there, but I was like tricking my mind.
Mhm.
It was like a beautiful moment. In like, I think everyone that should deliver should either have a doula or someone assisting them to help ease the pain and explore different things. So that's why I was able to have natural birth. But if it wasn't for that, if someone didn't tip me off that there is alternatives, I probably would do the conventional drugs and la 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 la
Mhm.
and take like I did with my first. Period stays if cut. Ovary still produces the hormones. I think the only way to not have periods. Yeah, I think so. Like you remove the whole thing, the uterus and those
Yeah,
things.
I think estrogen is produced in the ovaries. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure exactly. My biology class is quite far. Like I can talk to you about tomatoes till your nose and your ears bleeds. But I'm sorry, I don't know biology that good. Hey, hello, Caitlin. It seems 9 months is short, but it's not when you're pregnant. The first 3 months, you're tired. The only thing you do is you sleep. You just sleep, sleep, sleep. And then you wake up, then you fall asleep again. You fall asleep.
Sounds like me now. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm pregnant.
Uh, I'm not sure how that works, but okay.
I'm not either, but they tell me it can happen.
Oh, God. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. The love for your babies takes over. Yes. Canadian Club makes kids sleep. What's Canadian Club again?
It's a whiskey.
Ooh. I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, one of my nieces or whatever was having a real hard time. She was crying. The baby was crying and everything. And Wendy took and she said, "Let me hold her." And she said, "Okay, hand me the blackberry brandy." And she
The
dipped
teeth.
her, she poured a little bit of blackberry brandy and put it on her teeth. The baby was teething.
Yeah. You're numbing.
And
You're numbing
yeah,
them. Yeah. I would help my children. Like I would take like a rag, wet it, and like I was like,
mm-hmm.
and they would suck on it. In my children were overachievers. They decided not to pop one teeth, but two, three, four at a time. It was a heck of a nightmare for a week, and then I had a couple of weeks off. So my daughter was like, boop, 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 boop. I was like, why? Why just not like one and then like give me a week off and then another and then give me a week off? And it was like four at a time.
And they're not even permanent.
No, they're not.
You know the secondary teeth when they come in, do they hurt? They don't. I don't think they
They do a
hurt.
little bit.
They
They
do a
do a
little.
little bit. Like my children are on the smaller side, so their jawbone is a little too tight. So they might need my daughter might need something to help her space out her teeth. My son is borderline. Philip Mincidric is so big. His head is like bigger than average, so I doubt he's gonna have any issues. But Emilia is so small, so fragile from here. When it pops out, like the front teeth, it hurts a little bit, but like not like when she was teething. I
I
need to find fireweed. I can't find some here. My dad told me that his mother put some brandy on something like that in the. Shh, we're not supposed to say that. Because if you say today that you put brandy in the milk of your kid, you're gonna
oh
you're gonna lose your kids.
yeah, but you can take them to a. Never mind.
No, no, true, true. You can't give them whiskey. You can't pierce. They can't pierce themselves. They can't tattoo themselves, but they can do much worse.
Yes, yes.
3 children, each labor completely different, almost no pain for my third. Yeah, that's what I was explained. The more you have babies, and this is something my doula told me for my third, she's like, when you feel the labor starting, don't let the hospital tell you to stay home because you might deliver the baby on the way.
Yeah.
So I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, she's like, you had 2 babies. The passage is done. Like it's there. And I had a 7-pound baby and a 6-pound baby. And they were estimating Cedric being between 7 and 9. He was big. And she's like, as soon as you feel the pain and it's regular, just go. So I'm like, okay, I'll go.
I I love you're talking about Cedric being big. I love kids when they're like kindergarten, first or second grade, when their body hasn't grown into their head yet, because their head is like full size almost, but their body is so
Uh,
tiny. It's
Full
so cute.
size head is in teens, if my memory is correct. They're
Okay,
about
well,
80% of their cranial when they're young. I can't remember. There's something that changes, and then they get full size. I think it's around teens.
but they just look so cool. They look like bobbleheads walking around. Their head is huge and their body is
His
tiny.
head. I am so blessed that Cedric was not my first. His head was huge. It was huge. Like when I saw his head, I was like, oh my god.
My daughter Kelly, when she had her first, Carly, who's 16 now. Wow. But uh she stopped pushing right as the head was about halfway out, and they had to encourage her to keep pushing. But Carly came out with a V on her head and it bruised her. She was
She was stuck
black.
in the, because she was stuck in the passage.
Yeah, and when they brought her out, I said, "This is Carly's big brother. Can we see her?" And they pulled back the blanket on the bassinet, and there was a black baby. I'm like, Kelly got some splaining to do. But it was just she was bruised because Kelly just she had it wore her out.
Well, I've heard from women that delivered and had kidney stones. They say stones are worse.
Well, yeah, because you don't get that to hold the baby after, somebody hand you a kidney stone, you're like, ugh, somebody hand you a baby and all that
It's like
kind of.
there's a machine going on when you're carrying a baby. Hormones and other stuff. Well, I call it like magical stuff, but it's not magical stuff. But like it's like there's like a connection that get built. But if you have stones, you have no connection. There's like nothing. There's just pain. There's just pain. I'm sure for a man to pass stone must be painful.
I've never had one, thank
I
God.
wish you never will. Fiery grows out. Okay, so I've been the lookout. So I went to Annie over the weekend from Mama Homemade. I didn't see fireweed nowhere. So I'm gonna have to find if it grows near me. Dehydrate it. I think that's how you could, because then I can rehydrate it and do jam with it. I was told it tastes like Jolly Rancher. And I
Really?
love Jolly Rancher. My dad used to sell Jolly Rancher when they came out in gumball machines. And he brought a 50-pound bag home in sampler size. And he's like, give it out to your friends. I was like, hell no, I'm eating it all. It was so good.
That's a
Seeing,
tummy ache waiting to happen.
yeah, that's why every single teeth in my mouth has a cavity. My dad had a candy shop. Hello, Tammy. How are
Hey, Timmy.
you? You know, my life is supposed to be on chaos, and we're talking about driver's license, insurance, and babies, and just like tiny, teeny, tiny bit of chaos.
It,
Which is,
it's it's pretty much a chaotic live stream as far as topic goes. We're everywhere.
yeah, we're all over the place. So if you're watching this on replay, I'm so sorry. I will catch up. Well, I think everyone understands that if you're a gardener, August, even in short season, August, September is like the craziest months. I think, okay, if I go through the process of dehydrating, you're removing the moisture. So to make jelly, you need to make juice. So to make juice, I need to put water, boil it, steep it. So if I go with the logistics, I think I should be fine. Bye, Caitlin. Thank you for passing by. I hope your chaos in the month of August is going to be great in that you're able to stand strong till the end of the month. Yeah, that was my impression. That's my impression. So I still have a fireweed experiment going on. I bought the seeds. I've sown the seeds early spring. I'm watering it, and I'm supposed to let it in the pot or in the ground all winter long, and in the spring it's supposed to bloom. But I kept half of the package, and in the fall, if by some miracle I'm able to plant my food forest, because at the moment it's not planted, I think I will dedicate one area, like make a little raised beds of like 2 by 2, and then just like sprinkle the rest of my seeds, and then see if it works. You want fireweed flower or seeds. I would love if someone can bring me at convention plants of fireweed. It would be amazing because I think it would self seed and then just like invade. Oh, that's something I have to do. My husband said we went to Annie, we had burgers and she made relish. He's like, "Oh my god, her relish, it's really nice. You should make it." So, I need to buy pickles now and make relish. So, can you feel the chaos coming? You can almost smell it. Hard to know what they look like when they are small. True, true. You'd have to put a tag on it.
I just found out that boy, God is good, and He knows me well. I just found that I have evening primrose growing, and it says Native American tribes, for instance, brewed primrose tea as a treatment for laziness and excessive weight. I have both.
You found a solution. So that means you have to harvest everything you see.
Yeah.
So how are you doing on harvesting your food? I know that that was one of your big objectives this year.
I'm doing good. I've harvested my one round of beans so far, and there should be by next week there should be more coming out. I've harvested a couple zucchinis. I'm a little bit behind. Um, I missed the second round of black raspberries. I saw them and just never got out there to pick them. Um,
Yeah, I my last harvest of my raspberries.
but yeah, stuff is just starting to get. I've got some tomatoes, cherry tomatoes turning color now. Um,
Yeah, I had my first cherry tomato. It's so good.
oh, they are. They're
They are
delicious.
good. Did you guys see my short I published on Friday?
Did you do something with the voice on that
No,
when you?
it's my voice. It's me.
Because it.
I okay, so I just pushed play for you guys in a private chat and it just came out. Like it was like on the moment. I was like, I have to make those. Hello, do do do. But then I can't remember if it was what's her name, Marilyn or Remy, or I can't remember who's like you should do
Yeah.
a short. So I'm like, okay, I'll do a short. What's the worst that can happen? So I had like 1,500 views on it, 1,500 within the first day.
Nice.
I was like, okay,
Nice.
and I even had thumbs down. So people do not like tomatoes. Why should I be talking to my chickens? It's like,
Annie talking chicken. She's
yeah,
picking on your voice on
yeah.
that short, I
I
think.
should go see my duck and go. "Rah, rah."
Aflac.
That'd be funny. I have to check. I can't if I can transplant some this fall, and oh, that would be awesome.
Ooh.
Julie, the one that gave me the foraging class 2 weeks ago, said that nature has a way to give you what you need. That's absolutely true.
Mhm.
So I think that was message was for you, not for me. Nature or God? Think a bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay, so I sound like a chicken. Okay. Okay.
Well, it just sounded like you took the octave up on it a little bit, the pitch of the
It is my
voice.
voice. It's my voice, just funny. I didn't play around with anything. It just came out.
Well,
And
it's
it's like
exciting.
I saw those tomatoes and like I haven't been able to chat with you guys in such a long time and I wanted to share that excitement that I had tomatoes and I'm hoping that it becomes a meme and it just goes viral
Yeah,
on
that would be awesome.
uh You know, when you use audio from a previous short or whatever, it would be fun, you know, to be known. Because I've never actually had a 2K video.
No, I don't.
You have one.
Do
You have
I?
a 10K video. Or is it you? Or am I?
I don't know. If I do, then it's an old one, and it's just
Your
over time.
what's it called? That generator, or I messed up, or
Oh, the generator hack is one of my best, and then I think I killed my chainsaw.
something like that. But I don't think I have a 2K video. I don't think so. Uh,
Ow, cat
Actually,
claw.
no, I do. I have two.
Nice.
I have Pantry Tour and Every Big Counts Challenge last year. I didn't know I had two. That's so cool. I actually learned something tonight.
Nice.
No, so okay. It is okay to smoke a bowl and cook up some noodles.
Just be careful and make sure it's legal in your state, because YouTube thinks we're all law-abiding citizens.
Not sure what you meant by that, but I'm a bit confused. And I'm not. I've never seen you on the channel first. I mean,
Welcome.
welcome. I lost my train of thoughts. Where was I going with all of this? I know I was talking about tomatoes. Oh yeah, I ate my first tomatoes last week. It was hard. I was supposed to weigh them.
It is. Yeah, I felt guilty just those three or four blackberries picking them. I'm like, man, I should take
Well,
these
there's
in
so
again.
many things I haven't weighed. Like we ate lettuce almost every day. I didn't weigh it. I have like 2 quarts dehydrated chamomile. I didn't weigh it. So it's 2 quarts dehydrated. So it's probably 5 quarts total. And I didn't weigh that. Some eggs got never weighed. And then what else? Herbs. Some celery were never. So I've weighed in at the moment 313, but I harvested 17 pounds of what do you call
Squash?
zucchini squash,
Zucchini.
and since I've tabulated the 313, I've been harvesting a lot. So I had 6 pounds of beans today, and then a couple of times I had 1 pounds of cucumbers. And then I harvested size a pound and a half of onions for a recipe today. A pound and a half of cucumbers again. And half a pound of peppers. Hello, Buttercup. So I'm almost finishing my month. 313, 320, 330. I probably will finish my month at 350 for the challenge. It's crazy to think that 350 pounds of food.
I'm still shooting for 75, I think.
Which is good.
Well,
Because
yeah,
you're gonna have a pork soon.
yeah. I'm gonna have half a pig. I plan on hunting. I'm gonna make a lot of apple jelly this year. Crab apple jelly, because it's got its own pectin in it. Oh, it's so good.
Mm.
And my garden is just starting to get to
Yeah,
the harvesting point.
there's waves. I've planted my beans super early, so I've been harvesting beans like very early. Like I've been harvesting 6 to 10 pounds every couple of days.
Wow.
So it adds up. No, Doctor. I think this is how you pronounce your name, Doctor. No, I'm from Canada, and Tracy is from United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, province of Quebec. I'm a Frenchie. Parlez-vous français? People laugh when I speak French. Nope, so bad. Ooh, okay. Well, I just saw the time and I have no more light. You guys will like lose me. So let's finish the live by saying, how will you prepare, or mentally, how you're preparing yourself for what's coming?
A lot of prayer and try not to think about it.
Well, I know that I've said this, I think not last week, the week before. I have a list of like everything that needs to get done. And it never ends. Like I scratch off 5 and then 5 reappears. But like I try to organize myself. Okay, what is a priority? So today I had all the zucchini, the peaches, the potatoes, and something else. I can't remember. So the peaches had to be canned. There was no ends, there was no buts. It had to be done. There were some zucchinis that I received that was not going to make the next couple of days, and there was patches on it, and if I wanted to use it, all of it, I needed to process this. So there was 4 that was like attacked. So I processed that. And then the potatoes, I know that I have to do them, but they're still good. Like they're not walking out of the box. They're not like creating ears everywhere. And they can wait a couple of days. And I've realized in my garden, 3 rows of tomatoes have leaned on the side. So because of all the rain, like my T-posts like are coming back up. Like the ones my husband smashed in the ground are perfect, but the one I did were not deep enough. So, I have to ask my husband now, with the whole 15 feet row, tomatoes tied, like everything is leaning like this. So I don't know how we're going to manage to do that. But like I went into process of elimination. So what is the most emergent? Like it has to be done now, and then go from there. So this week is trying to fix my tomato problem, and then we'll see from there. Ireland, such a beautiful country. I have wanted to visit Ireland when I was studying. I don't think I've said this. I was studying tourism. I was supposed to be that lady that books your tours? Like,
Yeah, a travel agent.
Yeah, I was supposed to be a travel agent, but I decided not to. Because I had to work nights and weekends, and it was not the best conditions. And then September 11th happened, and I recycled.
Yeah.
Well, I just received a message. My kids are acting up, and my kids is actually sending me a message now. This is weird.
Wow.
They found Daddy's phone. So I'm going to see you guys next week. I have a canning video probably coming out this week. I'm so sorry I wasn't able to film a garden tour this week. I'll try to film one this week so that I can share the stages of the garden so that you can see my jungle and how crazy everything is going. So everyone have a fantastic week. We'll chat next Sunday. Bye.
See y'all later.